Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, we're going to talk about the 7 streams of income, how to create wealth. We're going to go over it. And it's another live stream where it's Ask Eric B. We're down with questions today. So we'll see if we have any thing that goes out there today. I don't know. Last time the video didn't come out hot. Tifosi Optics, check. Stop Struggling Now gear, check. And welcome, everybody. So please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. On the live feed today, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're going to wait around a few minutes. If you have any questions, if you have anything, Mrs. Learn and Earn, how you doing? Welcome to the live feed. And as usual, I have something to talk about, but if you have any questions, I may have some answers for you. We can talk about anything, but we're going to be talking about, since this pandemic, we got to figure out ways to make additional money. There's some of you sitting out there right now. In fact, not some of you, there's roughly 50% of the American population do not have a job. So therefore, we have to act like the big boys. You got to get those streams of income, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome, everybody. I see we have a few more people who have entered the live stream. And again, we can talk about real estate, investing. We can talk about real estate, investing such as stock market, investing in real estate. We can talk about funding. We can talk about business credit. We can talk about personal credit. We can talk about a whole bunch of things that can help you out. And of course, this is the no guru zone. So where else are we going to get it from? Stop Struggling Now. So let's go. And I got to thank everybody. We're over 5,000 subscribers. I'm going to go over here, check out the screen. I got to do a screen share so I can show you guys. I got to thank you for us having these subscribers, and that's awesome. So as you can see here, we have 5,000 plus subscribers now. YouTube, because of you guys. Good evening, Eddie Garrison. Welcome to the live stream. Eleanor Harvey, thank you so much for that super sticker. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a super sticker, but I appreciate your donation. And here we are on the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel. As you can see, I have to keep bringing this up because YouTube has given you love and me love, because normally you only have membership buttons when you have 30,000 plus subscribers. We got to reach 30,000. Well, they were kind enough to implement ours when we got up to 5,000. And you want to know why? My assessment is this. The people who are watching this channel are looking for ways to create income, ways to invest, and who better than to have advertisement on a page where people are looking to make money, looking to begin their business adventure, create an LLC. That's what I'm talking about. I believe that's why they turned us on sooner, because a lot of you guys are out here making things happen. You're sitting there saying, I want to improve my credit, so you're clicking on links. You're saying, I want to do my LLC, so you're doing that. You're saying you want to be StreamYard. You want to have additional income from the stock market. You're adding the Webull and the Robinhood links. So what we're talking about here is pretty simple. Those 7 streams of income, you have to have them, ladies and gentlemen. And in this day and age, we're talking about monetize yourself. Don't be shy. Monetize yourself one way or another. Again, we've talked about this several times. Buzzsprout. That helps you with podcasts. StreamYard. I got to give a shout out to them, because I'll have a link down in the description on StreamYard, this is a free live stream software, along with OBS is also a free live stream software. But this allows you to have people not call in, but actually do video in without having to create Zoom, Skype, and things like that. All they need is the link, and I can let somebody come into this live stream and we can split the screen. So that's what makes StreamYard so valuable. But let's get down a little bit. For all you all who have come here early, you might as well, in the description down below, if it's populated yet, you will see how you can get your free shares of stock. This is one way that the millionaires, billionaires, the top 10% make their money. So I'll give you something right now. The 7 streams of income is oftentimes overlooked. And people don't understand that what these 7 streams of income are. And I'm going to have a special treat. I've been trying to catch up with a friend of mine, and I found out he flew out to New York today. I got to get up with him, because if you were in the music business, there are lots of ways to have royalty income come in. If you wrote the song, if you sing the song, if you're the producer, if you were a musician on the song, you could be having royalty income coming in. If you're a record label, you get part of the proceeds from the song being distributed. There's different kind of ways and so much money in the music business. And because people don't know the music business, they get cut out of their deal. And a lot of things going on in music these days is what they call a 360 deal, where the label isn't giving up anything. They make money on everything. Whether you go perform, they make money. If you're out selling your CDs, they're making money. But anyhow, that's part of royalty income. That's what you have to think of. They're making money while they sleep, while you sleep. You could be one of them. Oh, got mine. SAN and Snap. Oh, Mrs. Learn and Earn on that stock market. Snap is one of my favorites. I'm investing in Snap and Pinterest, by the way, because I think they have a serious upside right now. But Snap's a good free stock to get. That's awesome to hear. But royalty income can be from anything. Publishing a book, you can have royalty income coming in for life. There's different things that you could have. And the wealthy, this is how they're making money while they're sleeping. This is how they're getting passive income. All right. I'll just go down the list. Interest income. That used to be a thing, but that's based on where you're going to get your interest from these days. Banks, they're not giving up any interest hardly. So you're going to have to be making special deals. Or are you just going to relegate yourself to what they call dividend income, which you can see here? Dividend income is things like what I've always talked about, which stocks, Apple, Boeing, Welltower. I'll give you some names most people haven't heard. Gladstone, Prospect Capital. In fact, I got a notice, Prospect Capital, which is about a $5 stock. I believe they're sending dividends of 12 cents per share. That's 48 cents. 48 cents per year. Since it's almost at $5, that means it's almost 10% on your money. See how easy it is? While we're sleeping, we're getting money every 3 months. Okay, I got another notice from N as in Nancy, A, T as in Tom, which is the Nordic Tankers. And that's a tanker company that has the extra oil that all this, when oil went down, they had a supply issue, and all the oil companies needed to find places to store their oil. So they store them on tankers, and tankers get to charge a large sum of money. At the peak, they were at $90,000 a day to store. Now they're down to $60,000 because now as economies start opening, more oil is going to be used. But the fact, I got a message from them, and they also are around, they were at 14 cents a share. And again, their stock is under $5 as well. And in fact, you get to earn 17% on your money because their stock is 14 times 4, which is what, 56 cents a year. And then you divide that by $4.50. That's how you determine what your interest is that you're earning on your dividend. And it ends up being 17% on your money, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Who wouldn't want 17% on the money? That's dividend income. That's also a little interest income. And depending on what the stocks do, you could have capital gains if they start rising and you sell them, such as anybody that would have had Tesla 3 months ago. And now Tesla's than tripled the price from 3 months ago. So again, if you sell that share of stock, you're going to have to pay capital gains on it. But who cares? You're paying capital gains on money that you didn't even have to work for. You were sitting at home sleeping, lounging on the couch, learning other ways to make money. Then we have resale profits. And resale profits, even though that's 7 streams of wealth, resale profits is basically buying and selling something. So you buy cheap, resell it. Well, in today's society, what do we have? We have Amazon. You have Facebook Marketplace. You have OfferUp. You have Let Go apps. You have Facebook Marketplace, as I mentioned. Who else do we have? eBay, Etsy. You have a bunch of places that you can sell products. And so therefore, what's the game? Buy low, sell high. That's capitalism. So no matter what you do, that's what we have to do here. If you have any questions or anything, Mr. Mentor, welcome from North Carolina. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for your support. And anybody, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. This isn't just about the 7 streams of income. If you need any help with anything, feel free to ask. I'm an open source here. This is the No Guru Zone. There's a no consultation fee. If you need any help, you can hit me up at eric@stopstrugglingnow.com. And I'll always hit you back. The more subscribers we're getting, of course, more people are hitting me up, asking me questions. It might take me 24 hours to get back to you, but sometimes it's the same day. Sometimes it's within an hour. It all depends on when the messages come in and how many. But anyhow, they'll get answered. And I'll get you somewhere where you need to go, because everything doesn't cost you, ladies and gentlemen. Because you get information for free does not mean that it's worthless. And just because somebody's rich and famous doesn't mean their information means you're going to be rich and famous. All right? You always have to look at doing things. Dre Day 3113, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your comment. Thank you so much. We're trying to help everybody out here. Because as everybody knows, if you've been a long-time listener and subscriber, then you already know the numbers. 60% of the population doesn't even have $500 in their bank. 75% of the population does not have $1,000 in their bank. Before this pandemic, that was the numbers. I can only imagine what the numbers are now. That's a lot of people. Thank you, Mr. Mentor. That's what we do here. Facts. We're not trying to blow smoke up anybody's behind. We're giving you the facts because why? We don't have courses to sell. We don't have books to sell. We don't have nothing to sell you. So therefore, I'm telling to you straight, I don't have any ulterior motives other than a rising tide lifts all boats. Because if you're doing good, I'm doing good. We're all doing good. The more people doing good, the better. And everybody else who doesn't want to do good and want to sit on their couch eating bonbons, let's just face facts. In real life, sometimes you're in the elevator on the first floor. You have to drop people off as the floor starts getting higher because some people can't stand the heights. They don't want to put in the work. So you have to let them off on their level. That doesn't mean that has to be your level. Don't let anybody stop you from doing what you need to do to be successful. All right? Don't look for any motivation. The only motivation you need is figure out what you want to do in life, what's going to make you happy, and go for it. Simple policy. And then you got to study. Then you got to educate yourself. Then you got to be on top of it because in America, there's one thing for sure. If you go away from the United States for 6 months and return, it's like the Twilight Zone. You're sitting there, you done missed out on a whole bunch of things because things move so fast in the US of A. Other countries, things move a little bit slower. But in the United States, you already done missed the next phone that came out, the next streaming service that came out, the next audio service that came out. You just never know. Anything can happen in 6 months in the United States. Joshua Felder, I'm doing good. Thank you, my man. I always appreciate your support and showing up. I know you're going to have some stock advice for me. You know, I got that OAS. I couldn't help it. It started at 65, 62, dropped to 48 cents, 49 cents. I bought some. I've been buying it all up. What is $100 worth or $50 worth? I mean, it ain't that much. But I own less than $100. But that's how we got to do it. Sometimes you take risk. I'm like taking risk. You never know. A lot of people thought when Apple was $73 a share, and when it split, that was a risk. And I called up everybody and told them, you guys, you got to buy this now. Get in now. All these guys. That was 3-4 years, maybe 5 years ago. And everybody looked at me, they were like, I can't. Meanwhile, I sat there and said, guys, it's 125, it's 150, it's 205, it's 250. And here we are now. It's over 300. Everybody that missed out, 300 and something a share. And they were issuing dividends. So again, every time the stock market reacts in a negative fashion, these are the times that millionaires are made. So don't let anybody stop you from doing what you're doing. It's your money. It's your life. If you lose, you lose. You can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, millionaires lose 17 times on average before they become millionaires. So get it straight. Don't get anything twisted up in here. You have to put in work. And not only could your work of 1 year or 2 years turn into disappointment, it happens 17 times on average before a millionaire becomes a millionaire. The Jeff Bezos of the world, you might want to check out his history. He started a few companies before Amazon. They went bust. In fact, he had to borrow money from his parents. Luckily, they're West Coast family. They had a little money in the bank. They were able to give him some money. But if you're like an ordinary citizen who can't get $200,000 from your parents, that dream might not have happened. So therefore, we do things a little bit differently here. Joshua Felder, Dre Day, any more quality trade line? Yes, we always have that. In fact, go to stopstrugglingnow.com and then do a /A as an apple U hyphen tradelines.com. In fact, what am I thinking? I forgot that I can actually put this in the chat for you. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll put it in the chat for you. And you can go see. And everybody, you can look at the top of, you can click on the top of the column and it goes high or low. So in other words, if you see credit limit, you click the top of the column, then it'll start out with the credit limits that are around $1,500 and escalate on up to 50,000, 48,000 trade lines. Or you can reverse it where it goes high to low. It'll show you the highest credit line first. Or you can go over to the price column, click on the price column, and they'll start with the lowest amount first. And then you can click again and it'll go to the starting from the highest to the lowest. So hopefully that helps you, Dre Day. And I put the link in for you down there. So, we'll do it. Joshua, I figured this time I might do things a little bit differently. I'm not familiar with XSPA by symbol, but I'm going to go look at it. So I'll just get on the screen now and see what we're talking about. But I see you dealing with them $100 stocks here. I'm not really familiar with them at all because I normally don't deal with that because I see they don't have a dividend going on here. And it looks like manicures for current. I can't tell what they're doing. So you might have to fill us all in the chat and let me know what this Express Spa group is. They're probably hit hard right now because most spas, oh yeah. So when things started opening up, I just went back. Oh, let me put it on the screen so I can show everybody what I'm looking at. So this can help people out too. Let's see here. I'm going to go on the screen, everybody, so you can see what I'm talking about. Mr. Felder put in this XSPA stock. And we'll get it hooked up here. You can see it right here on the screen. I might go full screen in this case. You can see it right here. And I went on a month old, and a month ago it was at 52 cents. And if you hold it down, you can see on the screen, if you would have bought this stock a month ago, you would have earned 69, almost 70% on your money. That's if you would have bought it at that price and of whatever, 52 cents. And if you would have sold it for 88, are we at 88 cents? Yeah, 84, 88 cents, whatever, 70%. So if you just sold at 88, you would have been at 70% on your money. You can see the green up here. You have to hold down the left side of your clicker. That's the only reason I'm able to drag it and get the percentage from the time. So you can see it. So you can see here at 6 months, I'll give you an example. It was 72 cents 6 months ago. And then the fact that it's 88 cents, you would have only gained 22.2 cents. I mean, 22.2% on your money. So it's pretty simple. So just giving everybody a chance, get you. So let me do something else too, because some people don't understand. You can see down here at the bottom, I'll put in this NAT stock so I can show you Nordic American Tankers, who I was talking about. You can see their dividend yield is 5.36, but we can go, it's been going down. It's been going down, but nobody knows why. So again, anything that has to do with oil, MRO, USO, even the tankers, I'm still in. The reason why, my dollar cost averaging is around $4.64. And for all my shares, I earned, I think it was 14 cents per share. 3 months from now, I'm going to earn another, maybe even more, because they increase it, because they had a good, this month have been excellent months for them. So they're going to probably increase their dividends that they're going to give out. So it might be more than 14 cents. People are predicting 20 cents for the next one. So that just gives you an idea. The Apple that I was talking about before, as you can see here, is at $318. And year ago, it was at 300. But when the pandemic occurred, it dropped 25%. It was down to $224. Here's what happened. All the guys that are millionaires, billionaires, have a disposable income, they bought shares in this $224, $250 range. If they bought shares at this range, that's 30% on their money. So they could have bought then, sold it on Friday. They would have made 30% on their money. Where are you going to make 30% on your money, ladies and gentlemen? They're using other people's money. So when you're investing in the stock market, there's ways you can make money. You can get dividends. There's other things you can do too, which I haven't talked about much, but you can do options where you can use a little bit of money to buy an option at a later price point and make even exponentially more money than even your dividends or your normal percentage on the stock appreciation. So these are the kind of things that we got to talk about, because this is how you make money. This is how you become wealthy. Juvie Lover, welcome. Thank you for coming to this live stream. I appreciate it, man. No, as far as I know, Eddie Garrison, the FICO 10 has not been put on hold. The thing is, with the FICO 10, it was going to come out in July or August anyhow, but nobody has a software to implement it. So I wasn't expecting anybody to do anything until December, January of next year. And in light of the situation with homes, cars, and all that, FICO 10's a non-entity. When the one percenters, remember the motto, one percenters don't lose. So when they can't sell homes, they can't sell cars, you do understand in America, everything works on paper. So you can call it a derivative, all right? So I'll give you a perfect example. I'll use millions. So you sell a $1 million house. On paper, the mortgage company gave the person $1 million. Now imagine if you did 100 of these $1 million homes, which means you have $100 million on paper. How do you create a derivative? You package it together and say, I have $100 million in grade A paper, meaning everybody's paying on time. And instead of me waiting my 30 years for this 100 million plus interest, how about if I turn around and sell it to you for $60 million? So this is why if you've ever had a mortgage, then some of you know that you'll get a notice in the mail that you now have a different company that you send your payments to because they actually sold the paper. So this just shows you right there is no $100 million. The $60 million that the mortgage company or bank is going to get is now liquid. The 100 million isn't even 100 million because only, let's call it a subdivision where we put in $101 million homes, like in a California subdivision, for instance, a Southern California subdivision, and they didn't collect 100 million. All they collected was roughly probably, you had to put down 10%. So let's call it $10 million. That's it. So, but they turn around and have the paper and then they say, give me $60 million. So now they get their $60 million. They're out of it. The other company is now holding the bag to collect the mortgage payments for the 30 years, and they're going to make 100 million plus interest. Derivative is what it's called. All right. So no, I don't think FICO 10's it'll come out, but I don't think they won't implement it until December, January, somewhere in there. And even when they do implement it, they're going to be selling cars, houses, everything you need a FICO score for. They're going to still be lenient because nobody can afford it. They're going to make it where you got 72, 84 months. There's probably even going to be 96-month type car notes. And housing is probably going to be like 2004, 2005, where almost if you're breathing, you'll get a loan. I don't think the JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all them guys doing the $70 or $700 credit or 700 credit score with 20% down. I don't think that's going to hold up in the long run because you're going to have 20 to only 30% of the population that's going to be able to apply for any type of loans and who's going to have 20% down. So therefore, there's going to have to be some sort of other type of loans available. Otherwise, these companies are going to be going out of business. Simple as that. So you have to understand what you're playing with. 1%ers don't lose. All right. Trade day is the best trade lines are the ones with great age and high limits. You got it. That's exactly right. What you really care about is the age because you get the payment history along with the age on your account. So age is actually the most important thing. The high limit doesn't really matter that much. The limit is only good for getting your debt utilization under 29%. And ideally, you want it under 19. And the best case scenario, you want it under, you want it 9% or less. So first you go with the age, then you go with the limit. But the age is more important than the limit. That's why if you get something that's 1 year old with an AU and have a $40,000 credit limit, then it might cost $700. But if you get something that has like 15 years of age and a $50,000 or $40,000 credit line, then you might be at $1,500. Big difference. So AU drops off. How many points are lost at that point? That's nobody can answer that question of how many points you lose when the AU drops off. The idea with an AU is when you have the AU on your credit report for 2 to 3 months, that puts you in position to get whatever credit you need. So in other words, once the AU drops off, it won't really matter because you got the credit that you needed, whether it was cars, whether it was a home, whether it was credit cards, you won't care at that point. And then your credit will catch up over time because you added additional credit to your file. So it wouldn't be a problem. All right. Joshua Felder. Oh, the XSPA. They actually assist airports for coronavirus. Oh, that's awesome. Well, then that's something I would be interested in. Do they have the ultraviolet? Is that what it is? The ultraviolet lights? I believe that's what it is. All right. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, as far as oil going down, right. The oil tanker stocks are going down. But if you had USO or MRO, in fact, we'll go look at those right now. Because let's go with USO, for instance. USO was doing the same thing, right? So I'll go over here to USO. When I talked about 3 weeks ago, we talked about USO. So let's see here. How are we going to get there, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, we talked about USO a few weeks ago. So let's see what happened in the last month. So you can see here that USO, and as everybody knows, USO used to be $2, $3, $5, and it dropped to around $2. They split 8-to-1, which was the equivalent of about 20, I believe it was $20, somewhere in that range. So don't be confused. It didn't go up like that much. So here you go. Now we'll do the little stream here. And you can see 25% on your money. If you'd have bought the USO about a month ago when I mentioned it, you would have earned 25% on your money. So that's not bad. But it is what it is. And by the way, oil has now went back up. It's well from the negatives. So again, I'm still bullish on oil. Because once the United States starts opening and other countries start opening, then people start using oil. So oil is not going to be $20 a barrel or $27 a barrel. It'll be $30 a barrel, which means U.S. oil will go up. And quite frankly, if you earn 25 to 50% on your money in a matter of a month or 2 months, isn't that pretty good? People don't even earn 20% on their money over the course of a year. So you have to understand what you're dealing with here. You don't have to be greedy. If you take 20% here, 25% there, and it's only a month, why not? Take that money and run. You don't have to be a winner. You don't have to sit here and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to hold on to it and wait till it goes up to 30 or 40. You don't know if the stock's going to go up to 30, 40, or $50 a share. But you do know right now, if you sell the stock, you earn 24%. So that's the risk you take in the stock market. Are you going to say, take your 24% and be happy? Or are you going to act like most people who go, well, I took my 24%, but the stock just went up to $35. Now I'm sad. I'm like, why are you sad? You earned 25% on your money in a month, which when you start extrapolating that out to 12 months, if you're able to earn that on your money for 12 months, you can start doing 25% times 12, ladies and gentlemen. That'd be 300% on your money. So that would be awesome. But 24% on your money is awesome as well, because right now, by doing nothing, you earn nothing. And you didn't have to work for it. That's what gets me kind of crazy with people. They're not even working for their money. Let's see. What else? MRO. I might as well talk about stocks that I was telling people to get, right? Let's see what we have. MRO, 1 month ago. Here we are. $4.93. And as of this Friday, 19.47% increase. Again, 20% on your money in 1 month. Not bad. It had upwards of, it was into the sixes April 30th, but so far, 20% over a month. You didn't have to work hard for it. You didn't have to do anything, 20% on your money. So again, that's the ways you do it. Okay. Thanks, Dre Day. Appreciate it. Hopefully that gave you what you need to know. Joshua Felder, I don't know why oil prices have been going down, but like I said, this is why you, when it comes to investing in the stock market, you shouldn't just go with just one player in the game. So in other words, when I mentioned USO, I also mentioned MRO. And when I did a live stream about 2 weeks ago, we mentioned USO, MRO, and somebody mentioned OAS. OAS was, like I said, at 62 cents a share. it dropped down to 45 or 47 cents a share. So I bought all the way up and down. So I don't even know what my average cost is. I don't really care because like I said, I only spent like $50, 50 to $60, I think. That's about it. I know it wasn't more than that. I know it wasn't 100. So however many shares that bought, it bought, and I'm just sitting on it because it's a oil play. So I'm staying with the oil stocks. That's what America's based on, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some history down because you know I like history. Let's go with the little history. You know, in 1972, President Nixon took us off the gold standard. When our country went off the gold standard, all we have was these paper dollars. The only way you can back the paper dollar is by oil. Well, that's the agreement we made with Saudi Arabia. So oil and OPEC backs our dollar bill. This is why the United States is always in a mad rush whenever there's a problem in the Middle East, because the oil is what they have to protect to make sure our petrodollar stays at a certain level. So there you have it. Designer soapbox. I use Robinhood. You have me a little bit confused about, are you buying? Oh, yeah, I use Robinhood. I use Webull and Robinhood. Oh, yeah. I should explain. I have money on Robinhood and I have money on Webull. And I also have money at E-Trade because E-Trade came correct and did no commission, no trades as well. But back in the day, I had my account with E-Trade. Well, actually, it wasn't even E-Trade. It was Capital One. But Capital One came to terms and switched to E-Trade. But anyhow, as far as apps go, Robinhood and Webull apps are down below. Get your free share of stock, ladies and gentlemen. Download Robinhood. They give you a free share of stock after you register, but it takes 7 days. Webull, they also take about 3 or 4 days after you register, but Webull has a new promotion. They give you a free share of stock. In fact, why don't I just go to the screen and show you? Webull gives you a free share of stock, and so does Robinhood. But let's just go to their page. Why don't we? Right? So people can see it for themselves. There's a link down below. Let's see. I messed up on that. Let's see if I can go back so I can see the nah, I can't go. I can't show you. But anyhow, with Webull, you have the free share of stock. And then when you deposit $100 or more, they give you another free share of stock. It's that simple. You don't have nothing to worry about in that regard. So that's Webull. And then Robinhood is also an option where Robinhood has the free share of stock, and you can see it now. And they always tease you with this Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, stuff like that. That's like 1 in 600 people would get that. But like I got Snapchat, just like Miss Learn and Earn got Snapchat apparently, which is kind of awesome. So yes, I use Robinhood, Designer Soapbox, and welcome. No, I don't do Forex. A lot of my friends always tell me, Eric, you should do it because you're a numbers guy, but I don't like spending time like that. They say they can set it up. If anybody wants to look at some things, go to tradingview.com. Tradingview.com, and you can see the markets, and that you can see a charts and create your own charts at tradingview.com. But no, I don't do Forex. I just I'm more of a set it and forget it kind of guy. I don't really like doing those charts and doing it that way. Everybody has their way of doing something. I just feel a lot more comfortable when I just buy and sell stocks and I stick with the dividends and I know money's coming in, so I don't deal with it. But yeah, a friend of mine deals with the Forex market, and he does pretty good at it. I tried to get some information from him, but maybe one of these days I'll have him on. And actually, I'd like to have somebody on that does Forex trading, but in real time, because everybody can tell me that this is what happened and how much money they allegedly made. But I like seeing things in real time because I find it difficult when Europe's opening at a certain time, Asia markets open, United States market opens, and there's trading pairs, which I don't really understand it. But maybe one of these days I'll take the time to learn it. But if anybody wants to post up something about it, feel free. My best stock right now, I don't know what TLRY. That's been a pretty good stock lately. I do know that. I've heard of it, Tilray. I'll even put it up on the screen for a soapbox. All right, let's go check out Tilray. It's only an $11, $10 stock, so we'll go see what Tilray's been doing and go from there. Yeah, $10.26. Let's go. Last month, yeah, people are liking that stock. I've heard about it. I probably should have invested in it, but I did not. 27% on your money from a month ago. So, and recently it just started rising because it's been hovering around $7, $8, and all of a sudden the last week or so, last few days, it's shot up $2, $3 a share. So most people just, but again, it says it's a pharmaceutical cannabis company incorporated in the United States. And yes, I've heard of Tilray. That seems like a pretty good deal. It all depends on what the governments are doing with the cannabis companies. Seems like they're always trying to block versus trying to help. But yeah, about a month ago. Well, then you're doing good. You can't beat that. Buying it for $8, it's at 10. That's $2. That's 20% on your money, almost 25. So that's a beautiful thing. Good job. Great job, in fact. Right? That's a great job. So that's the kind of things we're talking about. Most people think they think of their money as they have to keep it. Ladies and gentlemen, money is nothing but a debt instrument. Okay? It's printed out of thin air. It's really nothing. It's just, you might as well just take a piece of paper out your printer, write on there $100. That's basically what it is. And if you could hand somebody else a piece of paper and they believed that it was $100 and accepted it as $100 and gave you change, that's all a dollar bill really is. It actually really has no value. It's just you believe it has value. So therefore, you have to use that paper money to your advantage. You use money. You don't let money use you. In other words, we'll talk about motivational stuff here right now. In other words, how many times, let's face it, we live in a consumer environment. Who has the coolest TV? Who has the coolest phones? Who has the coolest shoes, the clothes, the cars? That's what we're brought up in. But the thing is, people are using that to feel good about themselves. So in other words, I can go out here and buy anything on credit, whether I can afford it or not. When we start talking about cars, clothes, houses, you can buy anything you want. You can rent anything you want. But the funny thing is, people in America, they think that they own something when they have a loan. That you don't own anything. People are out here going, okay, I'm buying a car, but you got a car loan. If you miss 4 payments or 3 payments, they're coming to pick your car up. No matter that you paid them 3 years in a row and you have a 5-year note and you lost your job and you have 3 payments, they're coming to get your stuff. So you don't own it. Just like a 30-year loan for a house. You don't own that either. You live in the house, but you try and miss 4 payments. You'll see how fast that house goes into foreclosure. Okay, or pre-foreclosure. All right? Lease a vehicle. Miss a payment or 2. You'll see that car gone. You don't own it. So this is what's wrong with America. Is lots of people are misunderstanding ownership versus renting. And then people are saying, I don't want to rent a house. But in reality, when you have a loan, you are renting the house. except there's one little difference. You're also paying the taxes on it. You're also paying other maintenance issues on it. So it's costing you a lot more money than just your mortgage note. And that mortgage note, the interest you're paying is costing you a lot of money as well. In fact, I'm going to go do something on this screen here that let me get a mortgage note, because I'm going to answer this question, but I want to get to a mortgage calculator so you guys can see what I'm talking about, to get your minds right, so you don't feel bad because you don't own a home. You're rushing out here trying to buy a house. But I'm going to show you something shortly here. And but I did see a question. Is 750 the sweet spot for credit score and 800 AFE? Yeah, 750 Dre Day is what you're trying to get. If you can get there, then lights, camera, action. If you get to 800, that takes, to get into the 800 to 850 credit score, you're going to need like 10 accounts, 7 accounts at least, and they're going to have to be mixed accounts. Like you will have to have like a car, mortgage, revolving credit, like credit cards, installment loans. You'll need all of that. So that's how you get to the 800. But 750, you start getting stuff in the mail. As soon as you get over 720, you start getting stuff in the mail. You're pre-approved. Come on down. We'll give you a car, 0% interest for 2 years. All kind of crazy stuff starts happening. All right. Then it just goes by how much money you make that they can verify. So if they know you make $100,000 a year, okay, now all of a sudden it's come down here and get this $20,000 credit card, $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year. Now all of a sudden, hey, you want this black card. All kind of crazy stuff starts happening. So velocity banking, I don't have any, I don't, first of all, velocity banking, I can say for some people it would work. It's fine. But it's just something that you've never heard me talk about on here, because it takes certain people to do certain things. Not everybody's going to implement velocity banking. Just like not everybody's going to implement getting a whole life insurance policy and paying monthly. Same thing. So that's, I mentioned it before, the wealth class, but you know, that's what it is. No, when you get whole life insurance, but what if you told somebody that by having whole life insurance, the money you put into it, you can use that tax-free to buy whatever you want. And you don't have to pay it back if you didn't want to, but it's your own banking scenario. So when you do pay it back, you say, hey, give me 2% interest on the money. Just think about it. If somebody had $30,000, $50,000 sitting around right now in a 401k, you could set up a whole life insurance policy where you can dump that money into it. And now you have a cash value in that account. And let's say the cash value is $20,000 out of the 50. You can now go buy a piece of property with that 20,000. You can get a loan from yourself, 0% interest. You can get a loan from yourself for $20,000 to buy a multifamily property. The income that you have coming back is when you add it back into your whole life insurance policy. And now you have yourself covered with whole life insurance. Now you have your own banking system all built in. So anyhow, yeah, I like that aspect of the velocity banking, but most people, they won't settle into it because, like I said, 60% of the population doesn't even have $500 in the bank. So how are they going to do velocity banking? Or for that matter, the whole life insurance program as well. Window of opportunity, it depends on what you're trying to do. Right now, you're going to need the highest credit score you can get over the next year. I mean, you need to get to 700 like now. That's all I'm trying to say. So your window of opportunity is when you get to 700. Well, basically 720 is preferred. 750 is even better. But if you can get between 720 and 750, that's the preferred numbers. Right. You have 3 months is your windows of opportunity after an AU post. So when an AU posts, let's say it posted today, what is today? May 23rd. and it posted today. So from May 23rd, your credit score in theory should have went up. And then from today until June, July, until around August 23rd, you need to get whatever you deem that you want for that credit score. And I'm just going to say this again, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to credit, you have to be very specific on what you're trying to do. If you're out here trying to buy cars and try to buy homes, that's fine. But the thing is, none of that brings in additional income unless you make it bring in additional income. You can buy a car, then say, I'm going to use it for Uber and Lyft and create income from it. Or you can say, I'm going to rent it out. I can't remember the Toro. No, it's not Toro. I can't remember the name of the company. It starts with a T, where people rent their cars, which I can't get with that. But people have to rent their cars, and it makes their car notes and things like that. But houses as well, unless you rent out rooms or use it as a multifamily where you're renting it to someone else and paying your notes. Otherwise, you're wasting money. So I'm going to show you right now. Right. It depends on what you mean by worthwhile. If you mean worthwhile is like a house, yeah. If you're talking about multifamily properties, you're not going to look. Even if you have an 800 credit score, you cannot buy a multifamily property without putting down 20%, unless, of course, you do an FHA loan. FHA loan, you're going to need 4%, 3.5% down, but I always say 4% because there's going to be closing costs. So you're going to need 4% down for FHA loan for a house or multifamily properties. And doesn't matter, even if you had a 720 or 820, it doesn't matter. You still have to put down the same amount of money when it comes to commercial property and residential as well. There's no way around it. Not in today's society. All right. So let's see here. I was going to go talk about housing, the mortgage, right? So here's what we're going to do. Let me go over here to the mortgage page, because that's what I want to do right now. And I'm going to give you guys some food for thought, because we're trying to create some wealth here. And what you're not understanding is every time you're taxed, your wealth is being siphoned away. Every time you're paying interest, your wealth is being siphoned away. All right. Those are the things that people don't think of because you're so used to getting loans for items. You don't understand what's going on, how they're taking your money. So here we go. I'll put in, let's put in something reasonable. I'll do down south type numbers. $350,000 at $392. 3.92% for 30 years. Your mortgage payment is $1,655. I don't think you're going to be able to see this, but I'm going to do 1,655 times 12, which is $19,000 a year, times 30. $595,800. So your $350,000 mortgage cost you $595,800. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a difference of you didn't pay $245,000 more than what you think. Most people are conditioned to think that they just paid $350,000 for the house. This $595,800 figure, what it doesn't include, it does not include your taxes. Doesn't include anything. And this is how the wealthy and the one percenters keep you down and keep you employed, because you're sitting there spending all your time, energy, and effort trying to work from paycheck to paycheck, and they have you over a barrel, because not only do you have this car or this house note, most people have a car note. So now not only are you paying this $1,655, you're saying, okay, I'm going out here getting a $350 car note. So now between a car and a house that you do not own, you're paying $2,000 a month for. You lose your job. You don't have any money coming in for 4 months. Your house is in pre-foreclosure. Your car is going to be towed if they find it. So all that money you put in, all that hard work and sweat you put in was for what? Nothing. Who's going to have a job for 30 years anymore? Nobody knows. Who's going to have a job for 5 years? Who's going to have a job for 3 years? Nobody knows. But yet, everybody out here wants all these things, and they're buying them on credit. Meanwhile, that same down payment, that same $40,000, $20,000, $10,000, $5,000 that you were going to put down for a house, you could have put in real estate. You could other real estate that has income producing for you. You could have put in the stock market where you're earning dividends on your money at least. I mean, or if you're in the music business, you could help somebody out in the music business. You have a label, you do a publishing deal with them. And now if that music is played on any of the streaming services, you get hey, whether it's 10 cents, 5 cents, 20 cents, that's coming in every time for life, as long as people are checking that video, checking that music. But instead of putting your money into something that's income producing, most people are taught to go buy a house, put down 10% for a house, $35,000 for a house. Well, that $35,000 could have been into something that was going to produce income. So again, they have your mind all flipped up crazy because everybody wants to look rich and famous. You live in America. Once you get past the fact that all you can do is be an ordinary citizen, an OC, let's face facts. When I see a cool car come down the street, I just go, yeah, that's a cool car. It's nice. Damn, that car costs $300,000. That's cool, but it comes to a point where you have to say, okay, is that something you really want to do? Or is it something you're going, okay, and once you walk off, you're not thinking nothing of that fancy car anymore. And nor are you thinking about how much that car costs. The heart hugger, thank you. You're not thinking nothing about it. So what I'm trying to say is, while you're sitting out here trying to be high profiling, as soon as you drive down the street, people are turning their heads, breaking their necks, seeing whatever you got. But a minute later, they don't know you. It's all forgotten. So you're just high profiling for nobody but yourself and wasting your money. And I sit here every day, and I'm sitting here on YouTube where we have these YouTube guys who make a lot of money. And they're out here leasing cars. Now, it's a business write-off because it's your YouTube channel or social media channels are considered businesses. It's a write-off, and you get people to come to your channel. Fair enough. But if YouTube ever shut down, or the social media shut down or changed their platform or did anything, that money will no longer be coming in, and those things that you leased is going to be gone. All right? So you have to think about, what are you doing with your money? Are you going out here buying $200 tennis shoes? You know who buys those? Poor people. Rich people are spending $200 and buying shares of stock, bonds, dividend income producing stuff. Sure, it might only be 200 and we might only get $1.25 every 3 months, but they know they're getting $1.25 every 3 months. So some people go, I used to play sports, ladies and gentlemen, and people used to come over and they would be like, man, where you get all these shoes? And to me, since I played sports, I was pretty good ever since I was small. I always had specialty shoes. And so therefore, that's why I don't even look at tennis shoes as anything. They're like worthless to me because they were always given to me. I would have 20, 30 pairs in my closet. And yes, I'm talking about Nike. I would have Nike reps used to give me shoes. And they would give me shoes from other people that were specialty shoes that people wouldn't even see. So when they'd come to my house, they'd be like, man, where do you get these shoes at? They're not for sale. They're only given to certain people. Now it's turned into some sort of a thing. But all I'm trying to illustrate with that is everybody has their vices. Everybody likes certain things. But what I'm trying to illustrate is, could you imagine, instead of buying an $1,100 cell phone, $250 pair of shoes, $1,000 TV, imagine if you turned around and invested in something that makes you money or sends you a check every 3 months. That's what we're talking about here on how to create wealth. Thank you, Mr. Mentor. That's what we're talking about here. It's always 100, like you know. So, like I said, and people have heard me say before, some of you get lucky, but some of us actually know what we're doing. And therefore, I'm trying to pay it forward. And this is why we're trying to help everybody now, because there's a lot of people, hundreds of millions, not hundreds of millions, but about 100 million people are out of work. I was strolling down the street in Sacramento on a major street the other day, Greenback Lane. And I couldn't believe it. There's walls, you know, in every city now, they have walls that go up to block off neighborhoods from the sound from, you know, 3 or 4 lane streets. So I'm driving down the street and I couldn't believe it. There's an indentation in the walls, meaning there's a 5 or 6 foot recess. And what did I see? I saw baskets. I saw carts. I saw tarps. People are actually living on a major street, homeless, in a major city. In the old days, police would have already moved them. But now there's so many homeless people that they're letting them stay. And I just couldn't believe what I was seeing on a major street in a decent neighborhood. This is not a bad part of town. So I am shocked by this. And this is why I've been telling everybody, you should have been get your social media websites. If you need any help, just go to our Facebook group. I have a link down below. You go to Facebook is facebook.com/groups with an S, /stop struggling now group. Become a part of the group. Then you go to the units section within the group. I'm going to have to approve you, but once you get there, go to units. In the units section, I have help with the podcast by Buzzsprout link. I have the StreamYard link. The reason why I have these is because you can do this right here. You can see the StreamYard logo in the upper left. The reason why it's there is because this is free. Only when you pay can you put your own logo up there. But I'm just trying to illustrate to everybody, you don't have to pay and you can still do this. Then go get your YouTube channel. Everybody is an expert at something. And even if you aren't an expert at something, you can always help other people out. Monetize yourself. Dre Tate, right. It's not America, man. This is not a capitalist society. But you go to the unit section, and we also have InShot, which helps you produce videos on your phone. You can edit, you can add in titles, you can do all kinds of things so you can play on Instagram, TikTok, even upload to YouTube just from your cell phone. Your cell phone is $1 million device, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why people are still playing. They're sitting there playing with a device that can earn you millions of dollars over the course of your life. And you're sitting there playing around, clowning on this $1 million phone. It's killing me. You're willing to spend $1,000 on a phone, $800 on a phone, but you're using it for fun and games instead of turning it into a monetary advantage for you. Come on now. Stop playing. You know how we do this. Let's get real. All right? Like I told you before, when things go bad in the economy, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. You're going to have to do this yourself. There's only certain areas of the country that your neighbor's going to be knocking on your door going, hey, you need any help? Are you out of a job? You need a couple thousand? Come on now. The government talking about these $1,200 stimulus checks. That $1,200 is going to be gone in like 5 minutes after somebody's out of work for a month or two. Hell, a bag of groceries costs you $100 nowadays. 2 bags means you got $200 worth of groceries. This is crazy. But anyhow, enough of that little rant right there. But here's the point I was trying to make about the mortgage calculator. I can't see if I still had it up there, but I don't. But the mortgage calculator, I was trying to illustrate the point. It's plain and simple. They have us fooled. Okay? They have us all fooled. You're thinking buying a house for $350,000 at 3.92%. After 30 years, you've paid $500 and let's call it $596,000 just for the loan, not including the taxes, not including the maintenance, not including the upkeep. 30 years later, you sit there and go, hey, Eric, my house is worth $600,000. Man, I'm going to make $250,000 on this house. You did not make $250,000 on the house. You didn't even break even. Because after you done paid taxes, after you done paid for maintenance upkeep, you're behind. But they have Americans believing that you somehow are ahead. No, what you are is you're losing. Let's call it what it is. I ain't going to mess with you. You're losing. The one percenters want you to believe all this nonsense. Why? Because they got the paper. They're running the derivatives on you. They don't really care. They're still going to make their money. They're like, thank you very much for taking this loan. Because I'm going to turn that $350,000 loan that you just signed yesterday, May 22nd, by this time next week, somebody's going to cut me a check where I'm going to get my $150,000 right now. And I'm out. And the person that took over that loan, they're the ones that's going to have to figure out if they're going to be able to collect that for the 30 years and get their profit out of it. But that's what the one percenters do, the top 10 percenters. Ladies and gentlemen, the top 10% of the wealthy people in the world own 85% of the stock market. This is why the stock market goes up even when there's 60, 70, 80 million people out of a job. Because it has nothing to do with 80 million, 60 million people out of a job. The 10 percenters, that's their playground. So why not play with them? They don't lose. All right. So enough about that. But hopefully everybody understands what I'm trying to say here. You're being duped. You've heard it all from your parents. Get a house, settle down, get 2 kids, get the picket fence. You've heard it all. Get the fancy car. That means you're a success. That doesn't mean you're a success because you own cars, homes, clothes. That doesn't mean you're a success. How many people are you trying to bring up with you? I wish I would have still had it here. Oh, I still do have it here. I posted this earlier today. I found this in my garage. Some of you can see that. Let's see here. You can see that, the Playboy Party, Dodge, effing vodka, all access. Y'all don't know me from Adam. Never heard of me. Never seen me anywhere. Well, this right here, I can't even remember what party this is. Some of y'all might have seen my video where I posted up. I believe the video was something on the title called What I'm Thankful For or Be Thankful For about 6-7 months back. In that video, I'm at the Playboy Mansion. This right here was a Playboy party. And because I've been hanging out with Playboy ever since I was like 18, 19, 20, I can't even remember where I got this little badge from. I have a suspicion where I got it from. Again, you can see it right here. I think I remember where I got it from. I think it was the Super Bowl 50 in San Francisco. I think that was the Playboy Party, and I think this is the badge for that, if I'm not mistaken. Well, we're at Super Bowl 55 or 54, so that was 5 or 6 years ago. But that's where I got this from. It was in my garage. I was looking for something else, and I'm about to show you guys as well. But my point I'm trying to make is when I went into this right here at this Playboy party, this is something I have access to. That's cool. But the thing is, I'm one of these cats that's calling my friends. Dude, do you want to go to the Playboy party? I believe I'll just say it was the Super Bowl because I can't remember, but I think it was Super Bowl 50 in San Francisco was this badge. So I called up my friends and I said, you guys want to come? And of course, everybody thinks you're joking because you're nobody. Everybody thinks nobody is nobody. Well, this just brings me to say this. Be kind, be humble, be nice to the people on the way up because you never know who you're going to meet on the way down. Karma is a bitch. As long as you're bringing good karma, good things happen to you. So a lot of my friends, they would never have an all-access badge to a Playboy party. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you can probably Google it. In order to get into a Playboy party at the Super Bowl, it's $1,500, I think, just to get in. General admission. Never mind the all-access. You can't even, I don't even know if you can buy your way to all-access. But anyhow, I call up my friends. We're in Sacramento. I call them up. I say, dudes, I got Playboy chicks. Of course, all access. My nephew, I told y'all before, he works for a social media company. He's in San Francisco. I call him up. He brings his friend. My daughter, one of my daughters is in San Francisco, of course, going to their own little, kid party. But I tell her, hey, I got some passes. The question everybody wants to know, how much? It ain't how much. Because when you're trying to bring your boys with you, your family with you, you ain't charging when you're the man. So not only do I have one access pass, I got my girls, I got my boys. We probably got 8, 9. That's how deep we rolling in. We go through the back door. We ain't standing out front with everybody else. We got all access. So I can go backstage where the DJ is, where the band is. We're hanging out. Well, not me. That's my daughter's thing and my nephew's thing. My nephew's playing around with the playmates. They're all having a blast. Standard issue. But we're all OCs. But how many people in their lifetime are going to be at a party that costs $1,500, $2,000, $2,500? And you know who else is at the party? People that you recognize from TV, film, music, every genre of life, financial. They're all there. But guess what? Once you're all there, you're all ordinary citizens. And guess what else happens? Because you're there, they're thinking you're somebody. They're thinking they're just ordinary citizens, even though they do make $300,000 a month, $300,000 a year. They're sitting there trying to figure out, how is this dude in here being able to go anywhere in this venue that he wants to go to? He must be somebody. I need to find out who he is. Funny how the game works in America. Everybody wants to be associated with somebody that they think is better than them. So that's the thing. When you're at the same party that they're at, everybody's equal. Everybody's talking. Everybody's talking about, hey, this is what I do. And then you're finding out, man, whatever they're doing is just as easy as anybody else is doing, except they know about it and ordinary citizens do not. Nobody's smarter than you. You can do exactly what anyone else is doing. The thing is, they just make it a little more complicated for you to make it seem like it's hard. That's all it is. Think about this. I'm sure many of you have heard this from your parents, your grandparents. Go to school, get a job, everything will be fine. That's their playbook. That was always the playbook. What they didn't tell you was you can't save your way to success. You can't save your way to be wealthy. And then after 30 years of working somewhere, you would hope you have some money set aside somewhere. But in the meantime, you're missing out on all these journeys of your life. How many people are traveling around? You guys can check out the thumbnail. I am wearing, in that thumbnail, that's the Eiffel Tower in Paris. In the thumbnail. That's what the background image is. How many people get to go hang out in Paris, right? For that matter, how many people even leave their state? How many people leave the country? And believe me, it's a number that you're not going to like. Minorities are least likely to leave the country, and it's all economics. So what do? We live in America, luckily. You can change your economics at any time. This is why we're here, is trying to stop struggling. So again, go to the Facebook page. There'll be a link down below. And I'm also happy to report I have the Opus virtual office where people can become affiliates, that they can promote the virtual office from Opus. And it's beautiful. I got notification from Opus virtual office that a few people signed up, and they actually got, Juvie Lover, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. And they actually got commission checks coming. I couldn't believe it. I was like in shock. I was like, this is awesome. People are actually paying attention. They're listening while they're sitting at home doing nothing. And they put out, whether, I don't know how they promoted it, but it could have been just on your social media site, or telling people, if you're trying to start your own business and don't want to use your home address, then use Opus virtual office. You get a phone number, you get a fax number, you get somebody to answer the phone for you. You get mail delivered there, and down the road, if you need funding, that can be used as a commercial address. Some people have taken me up on the offer and said, let me become an affiliate marketer for Opus virtual office, and they're getting checks. Every time somebody signs up for Opus virtual office, there's a $50 check coming. It's only a one-time thing, but again, it's additional money. And what you do is you build upon that. So if you start with that type of service, then what's your next service? Hey guys, at Fiverr, you started your business. Do you need logos? You need images. You don't know how to make things. Hell, again, I went to Fiverr to make the badges for the membership link on our channel. I paid somebody $35. He worked up 6 badges for me, and I felt it's worth it. Why should I spend the time? I'm not that good at a graphic artist. Sure, I could have tried to use Canva and create, but I was like, really? Am I going to sit here for an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 when all I got to do is pay somebody $35? You got to know your value, ladies and gentlemen. Is it really worth me saving $35? Seriously? Couple of hours? Come on now. I told y'all before, you have to start thinking bigger, thinking that, what are you worth? To me, people say, hey, Eric, why don't you come for a consultation? And like, you guys get consultations for free. I don't charge anything. But most people, if they wanted to talk to me, I told y'all before, I get paid what a lawyer gets paid. I say $600. I say $700. My friends have been with me when people have called me up and they would say, hey, I need you to come down here for what about a couple of hours? And my friends, they would hear me go, yeah, that's 2 hours. Okay, I need $1,400. And they're like, I hang up the phone. My friend's like, did you just tell this guy 2 hours is going to cost him $1,400? I said, exactly. He's like, and he said, okay. I said, yeah. The reason why? Because it's money-making ventures. You have to figure out, they're saying we're going to give Eric $1,400 because what he's bringing to us is ways that we're going to make additional money. So it's worth it to us. And you guys are sitting here getting it for free. So that's why I say you can ask me any questions anytime, send me emails, you get it all. And I can't wait for this music deal that I'm trying to do. It's not a deal like in a business deal. I'm trying to get a friend of mine on this channel where we're going to talk about, for all those who are on this live stream, you get to find out now. The music, the business of music. There are a lot of people who are trying to be in the music business, but they don't understand the business of music. They're getting screwed out of their money because why? They always make it complicated. If you write a song, but don't play the music or use somebody else's music, different rights are given to different people, so you get to earn different revenue streams. And so when people go in and sign a contract deal, the label company says, we keep mechanical rights. We keep other royalties, such as publishing. These are all going to the artist and the person that writes the songs, but labels because of the contract. You're sitting there looking at a contract going, easy. You need help starting a YouTube channel to get paid? I got news for you. We'll talk about it in a second. Give me a minute. I'll give you the story about this music first. Because artists get in the room and then they tell the artist, we'll sign you for whatever amount. You could just make it anything. You can make it $100,000. Okay, $100,000. We want 2 albums from you. And then they say, okay, we'll give you $5,000 a month. All right, we need 2 albums in 2 years. Simple. And then here, sign this where you're writing the way you're publishing. Sign here, composition, lyrics, all goes to the label, or we'll give you 5% or 10%. You're thinking, wow, I'm getting that $5,000 a month or that $100,000 deal. I just use that small number, but you could hear these numbers. 500,000 is what they could tell an artist. Ladies and gentlemen, that's in advance. But most people don't realize that's in advance. That's in advance. The label is due the money they gave you up front, so you get to recoup that money. So if you go into the studio and you want a big time producer who's going to charge you $30,000, $30,000 is gone now from your $100,000. You're going to have to pay that back. Now you go out and get some clothes for your video and you say, yeah, I need some Gucci and this, that, and the other. Yeah, another 10,000 gone. Now you go out here and sell 100,000 copies and you're going, well, where's my money? They're going, wait a minute. Out of that $100,000, we only got back 15,000 so far. And then you find out you done sold 500,000 copies and they say, well, we only got $110,000 back. And the artist is in there going, hey, I'm gold, man. Where's my money? They're like, well, we just got $110,000 back. You're not even due any money. And that's where it all starts. Next thing you know, you have to produce another album and hope that sells. But if it's a flop, your record deal is gone. They're going to drop you and you didn't make them money. So people have to understand this. So we're going to be talking about the music business. So all these artists who are trying to do any music, rock, pop, rap, it all applies to the same thing. And they make it very complicated for you to earn your royalties. And if you don't know where those royalties are, then you're not going to know anything. When you're an artist and you go out and perform, you get a performance rights. You got performance royalties coming. Now, if you're on a label, it could go up to the label, then the label's got to pay you. That could happen. But also, if you're the lyrics, if you wrote the lyrics and the composer and everything, then you have a check coming from the performance rights organizations, like an ASCAP or BMI. People don't understand this. So we're going to be talking about music one day whenever I can get my boy on, who's been in it for a while, and he had to deal with Warner Brothers. But anyhow, you're trying to start easy. You're trying to start a YouTube channel to get paid. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I hope you like whatever you do on YouTube or whatever social media platform you use. I hope you like and enjoy what you're about to do, because this has to be a labor of love to begin with. First of all, let's talk with YouTube themselves. You cannot be monetized with the AdSense, with the ads that are on videos until you reach 1,000 subscribers. That's the first part of the equation. All right. So just think in those terms. You're going to have to produce videos. And when you get to 1,000, then they're going to send you an email saying, hey, you can turn on, the monetization has been turned on. Go set up your AdSense account on where you want money to go. That's one stream of income. And AdSense, quite frankly, when you're a smaller channel, is going to be very small, because most of the time a smaller channel will not have the necessary numbers to bring in a lot of money. So if you had 1,000 subscribers, you might get a $50 to $100 paycheck. All right. Now, here's the other thing about YouTube that YouTubers won't tell you. They'll go a roundabout way when they start talking about this is how much money I make on YouTube. Then they'll tell you where they fall under. But most people don't realize the category that you're in is what you're going to get paid. In other words, if you are doing pranks, doing silly stuff, playing games, the advertisers pay a certain amount to be on that channel. In other words, that certain amount might be $1 for an ad, $2, 75 cents. Versus if you do, that's right, because they got to sell the data. That's how they do it. If you do financial, or better yet, I'll do it this way because I kind of know the numbers. If you do credit help, when I do the credit videos and things like that, it's in the $30 per 1,000 views that they pay you. A big difference between pranks and that. Reason why is because one is about making money, so you're going to have people looking on that channel who might be able to invest in something. So therefore, the ads are worth more money, 10 times as much. You're not going to have the same amount of views, but your cost per 1,000 they're going to pay you is a lot higher, but you're going to have lower views. So it all depends. You have to keep in mind. Now, let's talk about creating wealth, stock market investing, and things like that as a YouTube channel. Now it moves you into a $40, $45 per 1,000 because, thank you, Dre Day. The videos will keep coming, man. You know how we do it. I'm not stopping. We're trying to help everybody come up here. So when you try to do a create wealth, financial instruments, stock market investing, real estate market investing, now you're into the $40, $45 per 1,000 CPMs. So it all depends on what you're trying to do. And that's what you have to figure out, how long. So that's your first phase. So that's where you'll get money. But you have to understand YouTube's a search engine. So now what you should be doing is whatever you plan on promoting, selling, showing, you need to be an affiliate of that. So when I sit here and talk about Robinhood and Webull, yeah, I use them to invest. But at the same time, if they're going to give me something for telling other people to go there, that's a bonus. Of course, I'm going to have a link to tell people to go to Webull and Robinhood. So when you do a YouTube channel or any social media platform for that matter, you're going to have links in the genre that you're talking about. So if I'm posting on Instagram about Webull has 2 free stocks, then I'm going to have Webull's link in there. It's that simple. So the same thing you do at YouTube, down in the description, you have to put in links to help you make money. So you don't need 1,000 subscribers to make money. This is how I was making money from like my 3rd video on, because people were clicking on different links that we were talking about and ordering something or buying something, and then I was getting checks sent to me. So that's how it all starts out, and that's how easy you can do it. And so if that's not easy enough for you, then when we're talking about Fiverr, Fiverr has a link. So when I talk about Fiverr, even though I don't have it in the description down below, I'll add it after this live stream ends. But Fiverr, I can, there's a link down below. I'll add in Fiverr. And when somebody signs up from my link, I get a little check from it. So you just keep building and building. And before you know it, you'll be getting checks. And you have to keep in mind your social media could run forever. And YouTube is a search engine. So just because your video didn't pop off and only had 10 views today doesn't mean it's only going to have 10 views 3 months from now. So you just have to keep posting and keep doing. And just like anything else, I tell everybody, you got to do 2 years of work, 1.5 years to 2 years of work, no matter what you do, if you plan on making money from it. Let that sink in, and you got to suck it up. If you're trying to be an entrepreneur and you're trying to be successful, you have to believe in yourself. You can't listen to other people who say you can't do it. You just have to do it. And you have to do it and do it and do it and figure out different platforms and different ways you can increase your market share. I'll call it that. So the next move you do easy, you go to TubeBuddy. I have a link down below in the description. You go get TubeBuddy if you're going to be messing with YouTube. The reason why you get TubeBuddy is because it's free. You can upgrade to a higher level. I used the free version up until a month ago. All right. The free version allows you to check for your keywords, and it gives you a scale. So like your keywords, like let's say like the keywords in this video, you want to be close to 100 as possible on their scale. So you just keep typing in different keywords. On the free version, you can only do like 30 times. You can only check your keyword 30 times. And then you have to wait 24 hours before you're allowed to use it again. So here's the thing. Thank you for that comment, Joshua. That's right. Everything you do in life, do it yourself, monetize yourself right away. That's right, Designer Soapbox. You don't need to wait for their ads. So that's right, Joshua Fielder. You can do paid ads too. A lot of YouTubers do paid ads, but they don't tell you where they'll go to Facebook, where they'll go to Instagram, where they'll go to all these Pinterest, and they'll post a video, and then they'll pay to have that video shown on other platforms, and people come over. So, I mean, there's certain tricks you can use to get more subscribers and more views. Although I've never used that method myself, because I just like to do it organically. I just have fun trying to see what I can do without having to pay for things. That's one of my little things, because then I can tell everybody else how to do it. All right, because I'm no guru, but I'm going to tell you how to do it because I've done it, and I've done it from scratch. So if somebody's never done it from scratch, they don't know how to do it. But anyhow, back to the YouTube. Get TubeBuddy, because then you can do your keyword search engine. And so when this title that I have right now is only at 47 out of 100, which is not very good. But normally you want it to be closest to 100 as possible. So they have a weighted, and which you won't see in the free version. And then they have unweighted, which you'll see in the free version. So you get TubeBuddy, easy. So go down and get TubeBuddy, and then you link that with your YouTube channel. So then that way you got the keywords, and then you can also create your thumbnails in the free version also with TubeBuddy. Or you can go to Canva and create your YouTube thumbnails for free. In Canva's free version, you have to go to their website and you can create Canva, which is free. So that's how easy it is. Designer Soapbox, exactly right. Right, your channel actually has keywords as well. And once you start your YouTube channel, you will have analytics. And your analytics can tell you a lot of story, because it can show you what keywords are being used and people are finding your videos. And then once you stay in that genre, that then allows YouTube to promote you a little more. So that's the whole thing. You got to keep in mind, stay within a certain niche, and then they'll start promoting you more. Me personally, I don't stay in a niche. At least I stay in a niche that I like. But when I'm talking about personal credit, then I talk about business credit. Then I'm talking about stock market. Then I'm talking about financial news. Those are different niches. But I don't want to talk about those. You know why? Because if you want to be successful, you got to have 7 streams of income, baby. Come on now. Let's do it. At least get 2, at least get 3, try to get 7. That's the idea here. We don't want to fall short. So this channel here is dedicated to helping you guys. That's all I'm trying to do here. Sure, I make a little money on it, but this isn't all I do. Like I tell you, you guys might have missed that video where I showed how much I make from Airbnb. You can Google the Airbnb video. I'm not like these other gurus, because those other gurus are sitting there running you around showing you this is how much I make on Airbnb, except they're not showing you their Airbnb 1099. They're showing you some other BS. I showed you my 1099 because I do this for a living. We in the grind every day, every week, every month for the last 30 years. It ain't going to stop. That's right, Joshua. back to the point about YouTube, right? You always want to, when you have TubeBuddy, it also shows you what you should do. So you should have a page, or even if you have your own personal page on Facebook, whenever you post a YouTube video, you want to have a link back to the video on Facebook, a link back to the video on Instagram, a link back to the video on Pinterest, a link back to the video on anything. If you have a website, same thing. Any way you can get linked back, that's showing YouTube algorithm that people are coming into your niche, your market, your genre, and that helps them suggest you to more people. So that's how you do it. Hopefully that helps you out a lot just to get started, because once you get started, you have to hone your craft. No matter what business you start, you hone your craft. You learn more and more. I wish I would have known what I know now when I first started. I just started. I wasn't thinking of anything until it was 6-7 months later when all of a sudden I got this email from Google or YouTube saying, hey, you can monetize your website. I was thinking, I didn't even think about nothing like that. I was already leaving affiliate links and getting checks. But then I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even consider that I'd be able to get to 5,000 subscribers, let alone 1,000 when I first started, and getting a check every month from YouTube. That didn't even dawn on me at the time. But then after that, I had to learn how to, that's when I said, well, I better figure out how to monetize YouTube a little bit better, try to get a few more views. And that's what you have to do when you're the CEO of your life, CEO of your company, CEO of your future. You got to make sure that you're the CEO and you're in charge. Key words, you're in charge. So just want to say that. If anybody got any questions, you can always pop them in down below. Let me know. So we can talk about anything here, ladies and gentlemen, just about anything. But let's see, what else have we missed tonight? Those 7 streams of income. Let me go back to that page. Let me go see if I missed anything, because we'll end this shortly after in a little bit, if nobody has any further questions. But let me go look at the 7 streams page so everybody can see it. Okay. We went over almost everything. We went to the interest income, the dividend income through stocks, the resale profits, earned income. Earned income, that's when basically you have a job and you're getting W-2 money. That's earned income. When I have affiliate links and you do referral marketing, affiliate links, even AdSense, YouTube money ends up being earned income, because you have to keep in mind, back to the YouTube, you're compounding. Just because 200 people watch this video today, a week from now, it might be 400 views. A month from now, it might be 1,000 views. Well, you're earning some money off those ads. So that's the earned income. Royalty income is very nice. This is why you'll find a whole bunch of wealthy people, millionaires, in the music business. They're not entertainers. They're the guys behind the scene that you don't even know are millionaires. They're the guys with me at the Playboy party. They're the guys with me at the Playboy mansion. You don't know who they are. They're in the background. The artists are out there sweating, working their behinds off, going from state to state, city to city, barely sleeping, getting their money from the performance. Meanwhile, these guys are getting royalty checks from their music, a percentage of that money coming in because they signed the artist. Same thing goes with actors and actresses and things like that. When they have agents, agents get like 5 to 10% of the money. So when they go out and the agent gets them a job that they get paid $5 million, the agent gets like $500,000. You don't see none of these guys. You might know like a Lee Steinberg, who is who's in the sports world. You might have heard of him. But that's why agents, they like that royalty income. Agents, music, That's why that's a big industry, and that's why you see these agencies, sports agencies, music agencies. This is why advertising agencies, because these companies, when they're sitting there spending millions of dollars on a TV ad, an agency who produced that ad, every time that thing shows, they're getting paid. Every time the actor or actress who's in that commercial, they're getting a check, and the company who promoted it's getting a check. So there's all these checks coming, and everybody's sitting on the sidelines because you're working 9 to 5. You're working 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, trying to work paycheck to paycheck. Meanwhile, these guys are in Hollywood, New York, Atlanta, Miami, Houston, Dallas, and they're making these moves, but they have $1,000 checks coming in on a daily basis from work that other people are doing. You have to put yourself in the position of making money off of work you've already done or work somebody else is doing. That's how you get this royalty income, affiliate marketing income, all that, dividends and all that. These are all incomes that you don't have to work for, that you can go to bed at night in comfort because you know next week you have a check coming in. The following week, you have a check coming in. All you had to do was get up today and do something for an hour or two. All right. Welcome, Eddie Garrison. Yeah, we can talk about it. No problem. I got ideas on that. Here's how you do it. I'm just going to tell you straight up. If you're going to do business credit, please spend 9 months to 12 months to build business credit. And when you're building business credit, please build your personal credit as well. All right? Because here's what's going to happen. As you all know, we're in this pandemic situation. You already know companies have already reduced people's credit cards, credit limits, because the economy has gone bad. People can no longer get HELOC loans. All this happens. So what's going to happen? If you try to get anything, business funding, business credit, business whatever, they're going to probably want to look at your personal credit score more than ever. It's going to be 100%. All right? Unless you're in real estate where they're going to say, give me 20%, 25% down, so you have equity in it. But if you're trying to just get a loan or a situation where you're not putting any money out, they're going to be looking at your personal credit score. So again, get your LLC together or whatever, corporation, get your EIN number, sign up with Dun & Bradstreet. And by the way, all you have to do is Google on the channel page, if you can, and do business credit. And I have several videos on business credit. In fact, I just made one 3 or 4 days ago. So, but back to business credit, take your time. It takes time to build, and you want to build it the right way. You want to get your Dun & Bradstreet Paydex score over 90. You want to have an Experian, TransUnion business credit score. You want to do it. And the way you do it is you open up a business, you order items for your business that are a tax write-off, except you get them through these companies that's going to report, such as Assuma Office Supplies, such as Crown Associates Office Supplies, such as Quill, Granger, Uline. And then if you want to stay up on top of your other credit, business credit scores, you go to nav.com. And I'll have to add those links down below. But if you do a search and see, I did a video, I believe it's 2 videos ago, where I talk about business credit. And within that description are all those links to all those places that I just mentioned, where you start with your net 30s. And with business credit, you want to have 11. Well, the idea is to get 10 double digits business accounts that have reported positive. Okay, which means you've then paid everything on time. All right, that's what you want to do. So you want to get up to 13, 14, 15 accounts if you can with business credit. And by the way, this is one thing that I do have that's almost like a guru thing, because if you want to build it, do it yourself, I have software that allows you to do it. And we have a builder, business builder credit program, but you have to go to the stopstrugglingnow.com website and then look up business builder program, and it's right there, and you can see everything that you can get. But it's a DIY software where you actually helps you set up. And the beauty of the software is it also helps you along with your steps. So let's say you got the 5 net 30 accounts, and then let's say you got NAV where it's reporting. The software recognizes what you need to do next. It also recognizes what you can do. So in other words, there's a link in there that will allow you to go for funding. Well, that will stay grayed out if you haven't gotten enough accounts or your PAYDEX score isn't high enough. It'll stay grayed out. Once you can qualify for something, all of a sudden it'll open it up. So when you want gas cards, it'll allow you to apply for gas cards, which will help your business credit score. Now you want to get Dell, Amazon financing. Well, it'll open that up once you have enough accounts that'll qualify for it. So it makes it easy. Yes, it does cost. But in the meantime, like I said, I started a video where I gave 6 accounts that you can add to your business within 45 days to get you started out the box. All right. And I will say this, I got an email, a message, a comment the other day in that business credit where a person says, Quill, well, he said 2 places don't report. Well, here's the deal. Again, you have to order $100 or more from Quill. All right. All these companies, Quill, Granger, Uline, they sometimes do not report in 45 days. Sometimes they wait till 60 days or 90 days to report. So don't be alarmed if they don't report right away. There is times where they wait a month or 2 before they report to the to Dun & Bradstreet. All right. So just keep that in mind as well. You got to be patient with building business credit, but you want to build it the right way. You don't want to. Okay. Speaking of this, I get this asked all the time. That's right, Designer Soapbox. You do not need 1 million views or subs to make $1 million off YouTube. Exactly. And the people ask me this all the time about business credit. They should get a shelf corporation. Come on now. Stop playing. Here's the problem. Okay, they can say whatever they want, but a shelf corporation has been, in theory, sitting idly by. Have they been building credit for that 4 years, 5 years, 6 years? That's the question. Do they owe back taxes for the state? Because every year you have to pay when you have your corporation with every state, whether it's $50, $40, $30, you got to pay. So have they paid those fees? If not, those would be paid. And furthermore, you're still going to have to build new credit. So why even bother with the shelf corporation? Somebody's trying to charge you $1,500, $2,000, $5,000. In fact, I was amazed. Somebody sent me something that they paid somebody $10,000 to get them. They promised them like I can't remember the number, $100,000, $150,000 in business credit, a shelf corporation, a whole package deal. And it's been 6 months, 7 months, and they don't have it happening. I said, exactly. That's why they promised this stuff. That's why I don't like taking money to do credit repair, credit sweeps any longer or anything like this, because it takes time and you can't promise anybody you can do 100% of everything. So that's the thing. Eleanor Harvey, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate that donation. Nice to see you. Thank you for the comment. Thank you for your support as always. Joshua, how many trade lines do I need? I just started off with Credit Strong, My Jewelers, and a few secured cards. What are you trying to do, Joshua? Because if you have Credit Strong, My Jewelers, and some secured cards, if you have just those and you don't have any collections and your debt utilization is under 29%, and you want it under 9%, by the way, you want your debt utilization under 9%. If you've paid on time 100% of the time, then your credit score should be 700. because you should have 4 accounts. They're mixed accounts. Credit Strong is an installment loan. My Jewelers revolving. The secured cards are also like revolving. So you have a mixture and new credit. So you've affected 80%, 90% of your score. So you should be, if you're not over 700, as long as you don't have anything derogatory, you should be 700 plus. Shouldn't even have no issues because your debt utilization should be well under 10%. So yeah, you're on the right track. Personal trade lines. As far as personal trade lines go, I always say the same thing, just like business. You need 10 or 11 accounts minimum. If you want to get to 8 or closer to 800, you need 10 or 11 accounts. So just keep getting more cards or some things like that. So what will happen is most people sometimes may have a mortgage. They may have a car note, which is 2 accounts. Then if you got Credit Strong, that'd be 3. My Jewelers would be 4. New Coast Direct would be 5. 2 secured cards would be 7. I mean, it can add up, but that's how you do it. Right, that's what you do. You leverage other people's money. In other words, what people miss out on is this. You should be using credit cards to leverage your money. Using credit cards to actually make money for yourself. So in other words, if you have credit cards and you say, hey, I think I want to start some sort of online business, then you would use your credit cards. You would say, okay, let me get my Fiverr. Let me order this to get this done. That's what you're going to use credit cards for. So you pay off your credit cards with your streams of income. That's how you do it. Just like if you got multifamily property, when you get a loan, you're using the money from the profits from your monthly mortgage, pay off your loan. Same thing. You're not going to use your money to do it. You're going to use your renter's money to do it. Same thing. That's what the wealthy people do. They don't use their own money. They're using other people's money. They're using your money. Think about it. When you're putting money in a 401k, you just gave your money to somebody else. When you take $1,000 and put it in the bank, it's the bank's money now. When you went down and put money in the mutual fund, that's the mutual fund's money now. It's not yours. I'm not going to, I'll put it this way. There's a few people on YouTube right now that started funds for real estate. I'm not going to say their names because, well, I'm not. But what I'm trying to tell you is these guys were promising people last year that they're going to send you, if you give me $15,000, I'm going to give you 4%, 6% on your money. Every month, I'm going to send you a check, what I call a dividend check. I don't know what they call it. Well, when the pandemic hit, now all of a sudden they made a YouTube video and sent out an email talking about, well, because times are hard, I can't send you any of that dividend money. In fact, I'm not going to send dividend money for 3 or 4 months. Hopefully that's okay. But the funny part about this is where it gets me is in that letter that they said they're not sending you your money. In that same letter, they didn't say, well, because things are bad, I'm not going to take my fee this month. They didn't say nothing about not taking their money, but they used your money to secure the note for the property. That's what these funds are. They leveraged your money. So when somebody, it riles me up. I'm trying to stay calm, ladies and gentlemen, but it's hard to stay calm because you're being used and abused. So when somebody sits here and tells you that I got $1 billion worth of property, that's nice, but they happen to have multiple funds that they might have taken in the 20 to 25% of the money that they needed for down payment came from investors. It wasn't their money. It's not hard to go get a loan. Just like when you get a loan for a house, a loan for a car, just because you put down $1,000, you could have borrowed it from somebody. You could have ran it off your credit card. But that doesn't mean that it was the car is worth $70,000. That doesn't mean anything. It's not paying you. So when somebody says I got $1 billion worth of property and I'm not sending you no money now, but I'm going to still pay myself the 1% per month, man, somebody should be saying, get the F out of here. I'd be a little heated. All right. So hopefully I answered your question, Joshua, about the multiple lines. But you want to get over 10. You want to get 10 or 11 primary trade lines on your personal credit score. Business credit, you still want to do 10 to 14. In fact, the more the merrier. Whenever you order something from a company as a business, you should ask them, do you report to any credit agencies? You might as well ask, because if they do, then you can get that added and make sure that you give them your Dun & Bradstreet numbers so that way they can add it, or your TransUnion numbers, whatever you need to do, make sure they have your info so you can get added. That's right, Joshua. Take control of your own destiny. That's why that T-shirt, by the way, guys, we got that Stop Struggling Now gear, Emerging Millionaire. I'm right here. Oh, by the way, you would already know that. Like I said, if you saw my Airbnb 1099s that I actually shown everybody, unlike these so-called gurus who are showing you no 1099s, Airbnb pays us with 1099s. They don't pay us through Clarify, Discord, PayPal, none of that. They send us 1099s. You're in business. Come on, stop playing. So anyhow, CEO of My Life is one of the T-shirts. You might as well get one. CEO of My Life. That's how you should be thinking right now in America. In fact, anybody seeing this in Australia? In fact, I looked at my analytics the other day, and for the first time, it showed other countries. Australia, welcome. If you see me and get this video, welcome Australia. Nigeria was even on my list. People over in Africa, thank you for watching. Because everything I talk about applies no matter where you live in the world, because the internet is on. So therefore, you can start anything that you want to, unless you live in a communist country where they try and block. But even in the communist country, they have TikTok, WhatsApp. Come on. They have different streaming platforms that you can monetize yourself with. They just kind of block the internet so they can't see the rest of the world's kind of stuff, but it's all right. So anyhow, monetize yourself. Be the CEO of your life. Stop making excuses. Nobody's stopping you. You know, I have this conversation all the time. I was abused as a kid. I was beat as a child. I was dragged through the mud. I lived in a bad neighborhood where I saw all my friends get killed. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's hearing your sob story. That is not helping you. You need to figure out right now what you plan on doing today, tomorrow, because as each day goes by, that's another day that you could have been doing something, getting yourself out of the situation or feeling better about yourself. Don't let something that happened in the past stop your future. Your future is now. And again, if you need any help, you can always hit me up at eric@stopstrugglingnow.com. No problem. So we're almost here on 2 hours, like our normal live feed. I'm probably going to end it shortly because let's talk about nourishment, nutrition, your mind, body, and soul. You have to take care of it. Think about it. Because your wealth is your health is your wealth. Because if you get sick, all the money in the world means nothing. If you die, all the money in the world means nothing. And I never could understand why somebody's going to wait around for 40 years, 30 years, work somewhere else, get a vacation for 1 or 2 years. 1 or 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. But the rest of the time you're working somewhere, waking up all these days, all these hours, putting in extra work for somebody else to be able to, your boss is taking vacations whenever he wants to. Why aren't you? Why can't you be anywhere you want to be? So be the CEO of your life. And we got the T-shirts for you just to remind you, you can order it. We have other shirts too, men's and women's gear, hoodies. At the stopstrugglingnow.com website. Go get it. So anybody who doesn't want to, if you do YouTube, easy, if you're still here with me, if you do YouTube, also go to Buzzsprout. I'll have a link down in the description after this video ends, but it might already be down there. I don't think I added it. But Buzzsprout is a podcast company. You can load your videos that you load to YouTube. You can turn those into a podcast because they use the sound from the video as a podcast. So welcome everybody who's listening on the podcast. But you can turn that, and Buzzsprout helps you be on other platforms like iHeartRadio, iTunes, for instance, Spotify, all those, and even some more for free. So we talk about that at the Facebook group as well. There's a link down in the description for the Facebook group. So please, everybody, go join that. And don't forget, we have our membership, and I actually post some things in the community board for members only because I do investments in the stock market. Even though I tell everybody what I do, normally members get to know about it first. So on Thursday or Friday, I think it was Thursday, I posted some stock picks that I chose, and I think it was Wednesday, actually. And then on Thursday, the two stocks or three that I mentioned went up about 10%. All three together went up somewhere like 12 to 15% just that day. But that doesn't mean anything. Whenever you're investing in the stock market, it's long term in reality, unless your plan is just to be in and out of it. But my plan is always kind of like a long term, short term. It all depends. I'm not adverse to taking money out. If the stock starts dropping past 10%, 20, 15%, I'm like, yank. I don't, there's no reason sitting there holding your money down there. But then again, I'm lucky enough where I can be at home and be anywhere and watch the stock market. If you have a job, you can't actually be on your phone or get notifications where you're able to do something while you're at work when a president announces things such as a vaccine may be coming. Then the stock market moves up because everybody thinks it's over and people will be back to work. So stock market starts moving, and you didn't have a way to just, be right then and there and go to your Webull, Robinhood, and start buying something that possibly could go up 10 to 15% in the next 2-3 hours. So those are the kind of things you have to think about when you're working for someone else and you're not able to just use your phone right at your desk or right at your job at the moment that you need to act. So being able to act in a timely fashion matters, and being flexible in business matters. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm probably going to run. It's 2 hours, and I want to thank you, everybody, for the donations. I thank you for your support. I thank you for being here, and please share these videos. Let other people know about these. Everybody can use a little help. And like I said, please stay tuned for future videos. I've been promising trying to get this music video done with my friend. But like I said, again, he's flown over to New York. I can't get him here because I really want to make it. It's going to be I'm going to turn it into a 2 or 3 part series, I hope, because we have a lot to talk about, not only music, but we have to talk about financial literacy and independence. And in fact, he does a little Forex program. Oh, and how can I forget? Man, it's 2 hours in and I wish I wouldn't have forgotten. But donations. You can help small businesses in California. It's on the GoFundMe page, and it's everybody pitch in. You'll see Jay King, everybody pitch in on GoFundMe page. And even if you make a $5 donation, that would be much appreciated. The donations, people range from the average donation appears to be $50. I checked it earlier today. They only got $15,000 so far. And out of that, only 315 people actually made a donation. That averages out to, I think, roughly $47 a person, which isn't bad because actually Jay was asking for $5 per person. The ideal was 2.5 million minorities in California would each put in $5. So that would get them up to the $10 million mark to help out minority small businesses. So anyhow, go to my GoFundMe, and it's, again, Everybody Pitch In by Jay King. And please donate $5 to them or more if you would like, and help out small businesses in California. Unfortunately, it's just California. Joshua Felder, you got it exactly right, man. People, don't get lost. The government wants everybody to go back to work. Why? Taxes need to be paid. Not only is your personal income tax being siphoned, when you go to get gas, there's tax. When you buy food, there's tax. Every time you buy something, Amazon, eBay, taxes. Siphoning your money to ship up to the 1%ers. And 1%ers own these factories, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want this to be a class war or make it into that. I'm not mad at somebody because they own a company. But what the thing is, you have to understand what your position is. If you're an employee, they're going to risk your life to go back to work during a pandemic. They're sitting at home in safe, sound comfort, like me. I don't have to worry about the pandemic. I'm sitting at home, safe and sound. Everybody else that's got to go out to work, that's your life that's on the line, potentially. And the 1%ers need you to work to make them money. The guys that own companies, corporations, they need you at work. Come on. Why wouldn't you put yourself in the position of being the person that is able to get people to work where you're sitting at home, they come and they bring you the money? Gangster-like. Come on. That's right. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm going to end this here in the next 5 minutes or less. If anybody has any further questions, please ask them now. And thank you, everybody who participated by asking questions. Hopefully this helps out other people when they watch this video, which is awesome. That's the idea here. If we all work together, we all come up together. And by the way, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this was all prepared for. All the last year and a half when I kept saying, get your 7 streams of income, create your wealth. That's the reason why I was doing it. Because as long as you have one stream of income coming in besides your main stream, when there's a pandemic or the economy goes down, you would still have a stream of income coming in. So you're not going to sweat as much. If you're able to have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 streams of income, that was it. Eleanor Harvey, YouTube site. Oh, TubeBuddy. Is that what you mean for the tools for YouTube? That, I don't know what you mean. What was the YouTube site? But if you're talking about TubeBuddy, there's a link down below in the description for TubeBuddy. I don't know what other YouTube site you're referring to, but hopefully you'll put that in here before we go for the evening. Thank you, Miss Learn and Earn. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everyone's support. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your continued support. Thanks to you, YouTube has unbelievably noticed our channel with only 5,000 subscribers. You will never see another 5,000 subscriber channel have a membership button. I don't believe. It's unheard of. So thank you so much. The YouTube site. Oh, yeah, TubeBuddy. Right. It's Eleanor, and the link down below, like I've mentioned earlier, you probably get this on a time delay, but the link down below is going to have that TubeBuddy link. All right. That's where it is. Use that link. And it's, like I said, it's free. They have the free version. Only, once you want to expand and get the other services, but at least you get thumbnail and at least you get keyword search for free. That's in the free thing. And that's 2 of the most important things that can help you if you want to create your own thumbnails. So besides using Canva, Canva can help you create thumbnails as well for free. So those are your 2 options for creating thumbnails. Or if you want to get creative, you can pay somebody on Fiverr or $5 for thumbnails if you want, but I don't see why you would need to do that. But you can go that route too. Julie Lover, thank you so much. I appreciate your donation. Eleanor Harvey, thank you so much again for your donation. I really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. And that super sticker. That's the first time, Eleanor Harvey, that anybody's done a super sticker. I don't know how you did it, but I appreciate that $20 super sticker support. That was awesome. And I hope I didn't miss anybody that gave me a donation, because I can't see it in my window. Okay, I got it. Juvie Lover, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, members who have also signed up. I appreciate it. And watch out. I'm going to throw out a new video just for members only next week. It'll probably be talking about a little stock market, maybe even a little music. I'm trying to, the reason why I was going through my garage, so I would have, and I found this, and I'll keep showing it again because I think it's awfully cool when you have tokens of when you hang out with the rich and famous, and you have the all access pass versus the rich and famous who don't. That's always hilarious. But when I was going through, I was actually looking for some music. I have some music here that a producer, a platinum producer named Vern from Sacramento, California, I bought songs from him a long time ago. The music business always interested me. I've never been in the music business. It always interests me. So I was looking in the garage. I'm trying to find the CD because I have some tracks. And here's the bonus. Anybody that does rap songs or me sings, because I got to have a hook for whatever song is going to be produced, I'm actually going to be looking for somebody. I'm going to play the track, and I'm going to be asking for somebody to either make a song to it or make a rap to it or rap and sing, however you want to do it. I might even do a little rapping myself on it, and then somebody give me something else and add to it, and we'll produce a song. And if I have my way about it, it's going to be uploaded on the iTunes, the iHearts, Spotify, all that. And yeah, I'm going to give you guys credit too. If you sing on it, you getting paid. I'm not like these labels where people aren't going to get paid. We all get to eat, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we do it. This is Stop Struggling Now for the people, everybody. This ain't selfish nonsense. So we're going to make it happen, but I got to find the tracks. I can't find it so far. And that's how I ended up finding this Playboy badge from the party I went to before. So anyhow, keep all that posted. If you're in the music biz, here's your shot. And of course, we're going to run it. I have the rights to the song. I bought this. There's only 2 tracks, but I bought both tracks from Vern. I paid him cash for the tracks. Vern had like 1,000 tracks or more. He produced Michael Jackson's hit. It's sitting, the plaques are sitting on his wall. Okay, so this is how badass this man is. All right, and then there's some other little surprises I'm going to have for you too. I'm trying to do some other backdoor deals with music, but that's how I always do it, backdoor. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And you know it's hard out here. So this is why this is called Stop Struggling Now. And this is why everything is in the description for you. This is why there's a Facebook group page. There's a link down below for you on that. There's other tools in the Facebook group that can help you out. And everything is at no cost. So good night, good evening, be safe, keep your health, wear the mask, do what you need to do, because this is no time to get sick. This is only time to prosper. This is time to make plans. This is time to start doing. Don't wait any longer. Just start. Thank you. See you at the next video. Peace. Thank you, love, peace, abundance. Appreciate it.